Let's settle this for once and for all. Is a wide receiver one a luxury or a necessity for this offense? Welcome to the BART. Next stop, wide receiver way. Let's go.
Just win, baby.
Yo, what's goody in your hoodie? It's your boy Black the quarterback, back with Chisel for Chisel, my nizzle. What's good with you, bruh?
What's cracking, y'all? How you doing?
It was good. It's good, man. Today we talking wide receiver room. Now that we pretty much shuffling in undrafted free agents and we drafted a wide receiver and everything, now we need to see. Everyone's saying we didn't get a wide receiver one. We didn't get a wide receiver one. We got the worst wide receiver room in football. So we're going to talk about that. But I'm glad, though, that some people are starting to come around and back off the whole we needed to get a wide receiver one, and that was like a major need and all that other stuff. So people are starting to back off of that and understand that we might can go ahead and draft one a higher tier wide receiver later. And that was kind of my thought process, too, when it comes to wide receivers. Wide receivers is a plug and play position where you can add a wide receiver and it could either hurt you or help you. You know, it can hinder you or help you. I ain't gonna say help, hurt, but hinder or help. Yeah. So let's see who got we got the chat cracking. The chat Raiders is in the building. What's good with Jack?
What up, Jack?
Raider 8, what's good with brethren?
What up, Raider 8? James Furpo, what's cracking?
Purple Raider. See, I'm with you on that. So yeah, let's get. Hey, if y'all think Trey Tucker is our wide receiver one, put Tucker in the chat. Just put Tucker in the chat because the main emphasis is going to be really on Tucker because he's in his contract year. He was kind of like just a slot player. We didn't know how good he was going to be, but then he progressively got better last year, right? So the question is this wide receiver room enough for what we got going on or what we want to do? Do we need a wide receiver one, do you think, in your opinion, Pizzle? And if so, who?
I don't think we need a wide receiver one. I think we have I believe we have the talent that we need on the team that we have right now. That's why they're going to run with it. Tucker could be a number one, I guess, but like I said, I see him being used more as the slot receiver guy to do these little tricky out of the backfield plays that he likes to come up with. You know, hopefully, you know, that the dude that we I can't remember his name right now, but the dude we drafted last year, that's
Jack Beck.
Well, I can't remember his name right now, but the big guy that we got, Thornton, yeah. Hopefully, we can develop him and let him be the outside guy, and move Tucker into the slot and use him as the trick play guy. And then we also got that the guy we got from Minnesota is supposed to be really fast too. I don't know if we're gonna have him at number one or if he's gonna be number two. I mean, we got wide receivers. Are they known yet? Yeah, Tucker's known. You know, he's fast. So is other dude. So we just gotta hurry up.
Naylor.
Yeah, we just have to wait and see.
Yeah. So Trey Tucker, his emergence, he had a good, essentially a breakout year last year for us. He had 700 yards, 5 touchdowns. Is Tucker really is he ready to take the leap to what would be the wide receiver one? And the chat put a yes if you think so, put a no if you think not yet. He could probably get there, but he's not there yet. But is he there coming into this camp is the question. What you think?
No, 700 yards and 5 touchdowns. I mean, maybe we could put some of that on Geno and the line last year, but I think a number one's got to have more than that. You know what I mean? Got to have more production than that. But if that's all the production that we got out of him last year, then I can't blame him. You know, there's a lot of things going wrong with our system last year. Chip Kelly, the offensive line, no running game, no time for the quarterback. Quarterback play was mid at best. So, you know, maybe if he gets a good guy out there, you know, a Kirk Cousins, and he's got a chance, you know, he's got time, then yeah, maybe he can turn into a number one. Maybe he will be a number one. You know, we have to wait and see because we haven't had a good quarterback in years, right? To even see what Trey Tucker has. And the same thing with Jefferson. I mean, these guys are fast, right? But somehow or another, the ball always seems to be thrown behind them, not out in front of them. You got to put the ball out in front and let them try and go and get it.
Yeah, 700 yards, 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns isn't like a wide receiver one production level. 700 yards. But I think all things considering that we had terrible play calling. Like you said, the line was like what the WTF. And then Geno Smith out there running for his life, throwing the ball into double coverage, taking sacks, and a lack of a running game. Like all those things combined can get him like another 300 yards, I believe. Right?
Yeah, and probably another three or 4 touchdowns, maybe too.
Yeah, about 3 or 4 touchdowns, right? So does that make him a fringe number one? Even with his size, does that make him a number one? Does it even really matter in this offense that he's the number one? Because from what I'm understanding, even with Seattle last year, they had your boy that they traded to the Steelers, DK Metcalf.
Mm-hmm.
Obvious number one receiver, got shipped up out of there. So obviously it wasn't that necessary of a need for them to win because it's about the system. Because now I think about it, DK might have been mad because he wasn't getting the targets or the ball was finding him all the time because Kubiak has a system.
Mm-hmm.
He has a system. So he wants to go to a place where, you know, he's going to get the ball all the time. And so do I think he's ready to fill that, to leap into the wide receiver one role? Maybe as far as leadership, but I don't think it's going to be necessarily needed from him to be the stud wide receiver on the team. He can just catch the ball and do what you got to do because I think we're going to work with options this year. So
I think we're going to
can't throw any. Huh?
I think we're going to be working with options every year from here on out. I think every week is going to be somebody else's turn, bro. And when you have people like A.J. Brown and all these other guys, they don't like that. They want to get the ball all the time. It's a me league, you know, when you're a wide receiver. Because you, as a wideout, you depend on the quarterback to get your yards, right? And if you don't have a good quarterback, you ain't going to get no yards. If you're not getting targeted, you're not getting no yards, and they want to get paid. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to him getting paid, and he ain't going to get paid if he ain't getting all those balls. And he ain't putting out all the production. But in a system like we're going to be running here, it doesn't matter. All you need to do is catch the ball and be able to run.
Yeah, you can't. It's funny that you say that because Kubiak offense is predicated on that. But even if we were to go grab one of these guys, one of these top tier, fringe top tier wide receiver one guys. You know, but like you said, AJ Brown. I don't think that we need a diva in our locker room, especially at the wide receiver position. You don't need like the Antonio Browns. You don't need
Answer.
the T.O.s. You know, like the
Answer.
Chad
Answer.
Johnsons. You know what I'm saying? Even I would say like a Jamar Chase. We don't need that. We don't need that right now. We don't need that for the aforementioned reasons, like you said. Because when that contract year come up, they're going to want the numbers there so they can either reset the market or receive money because of the market going up. So they want to be top tier. So I don't think that we need a wide receiver like that to come in and do anything. I think we're cool where we're at. I don't know if a lot of people are feeling that way, but I feel like so. Chat, do you think that wide receiver one is a luxury or a necessity for this team? Put it down in the comments if you're watching this on the playback. Is this a luxury or necessity for this team?
It's a luxury.
It's a luxury. I agree with you, Virgin. I agree. Now, as far as our, let's see what the comments say.
What up, Brock?
Oh, what's up, Brock? How many wins you think we're gonna have this season? We have a hard schedule. Okay. We kind of talked about that a little bit. I'm gonna answer that in a few seconds. Guys in the chat, answer that question, and then me and Pizzle. Well, I'll answer it because Pizzle gonna do predictions like that. J. Rob, what's good with your brethren? He said it's a luxury. He said it's a luxury.
Yeah,
now,
I think
yeah. Go ahead.
I think that having a number one like that is a luxury too. But at the same time, it's like I don't care who's getting the ball. I just want to win games. They have the opposite. They have the opposite effect on the team. If they're not getting the ball, they can win all the games they want. But if they're not getting the numbers that they want or the receptions that they want, they're not going to be happy. Because for them, it's not about winning. It's about getting their next contract. It's about getting the next payday. Like, so for me, I don't know. You have to decide on whether you want to go out and set financial records or you want to win games.
I agree. That's why that's called the diva position.
Yeah.
Because, they want the money. Show me the money. Even Jerry Maguire. You feel me? Like, show me the money. But then, he wanted to win. Well, it was that movie was really about his contract. Really wasn't even about the team winning, which kind of go for what you're saying. Which is,
yeah, and some wide receivers back in our day, right? We had Jerry. He was a whiner. Jerry Rice was a whiner when he didn't get the ball. Michael Irvin, not so much. But Mr. Touchdown, all I get is touchdowns. Carter, he complained a lot. A lot of these guys complain a lot,
Keyshawn Johnson, Mr. Throw Me the Damn Ball. He wrote a book.
Yeah, we got there's a lot of there's a lot of guys that complain when they don't get the ball. When it's your turn, bro. But I'm open every play. Well, yeah, it doesn't always work that way.
Well, playing wide receiver, you can be open every play, right?
Yeah.
But you can't just drop back and throw the ball to you or me all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because what happened is you don't create any continuity. You can't sustain that all game long because they're eventually going to catch up with it. And then after that, at that point, you got the rest of the team out of sync, right?
Yeah.
So you can't. That's just not. It's not sustainable. And I wasn't a diva wide receiver, but I definitely was I need the ball type wide receiver, and I think receivers should think like that. It wasn't until I played quarterback till I realized that the quarterback is worried about you receiver, you tight end, you lineman, you running back. The last thing I'm thinking about is watching you run up the field talking about you open all the time. I just need you to be open when I look up.
Right.
or be where you're supposed to be when it's time for me to throw this ball. So the mentality is different. Let me see. Let's see. So you say it's a luxury. I say it's a luxury as well. Now, we haven't seen a lot out of our wide receivers.
Hold on. So we're going to get into the. Are we going to get into the undrafted?
Yeah, we're going to do that after these.
Okay.
Well, you can talk about the undrafted receivers too.
Yeah, because we got this dude from E.J. Williams Jr. from Indiana. He's 6'3", 200 pounds.
Yeah.
He's physical. He's a deep threat. And, he looks like he's going he's going to be good. And then we got another guy from Arkansas State, Corey Rucker. He's 600, 210, or 6 foot 210, 3,000 career yards. So he's pretty decent. Then we got another guy from BYU, Chase Roberts. He looks like he's going to be pretty good. 54 receptions, 802 yards, 6 receptions. So he's got a really good high catching, a real good high catching percentage. So yeah, so we got guys on the back burner. If none of these, and then we drafted that guy from Oregon, who's supposed to be a beast. So we got
Malik Benson. I was calling him Malik Benson. I was calling him Malik. It's Malik Benson, but I was calling him something else last show. And
what up, Jimenez? Anthony Estrada,
the real one. Yeah. No, you're right. They're bringing in all these receivers because it is something that I think that is important. It's just not on the agenda in the forefront right now of the agenda. But what I am seeing is that we are bringing people in. So that's kind of like we're working on that position already this year for next year. That's how I see that. In the interim, if we find some gems in there, or we find some continuity in there, or we find somebody that's going to stand out in there, then that puts us in a win-win situation. So I really like those guys that we brought in. The one from Indiana, Chase.
Yeah,
those are 2 names that are being thrown around that might make this 53-man roster. So right now it's kind of hard to tell because they out there doing 7-on-7, which is an offensive drill, y'all. 7-on-7 is an offensive drill. It's supposed to look good for the offense. It's about timing. It's about the quarterback being able to make reads, and the wide receivers to be able to make reads and get the timing together so they can, connect. It's not meant for the defender to come in and intercept the ball, knock it down, or anything like that. That's not what 7-on-7 is for. But we can see a lot of things from your receiver. You can see their catch radius. I seen Brock Bowers make a catch on 7-on-7 that was crazy. And when you see stuff like that, you know that if you can make those kind of catches, your catch radius or catches that's just like not conventional, it's going to translate even if you have a defender on you. But it gives you an opportunity as a wide receiver to be able to concentrate and make plays like that. You could check receivers' route efficiency, if they're getting to the spot when they're supposed to get to the spot. The ability to remember the plays, know where to line up. That's the first thing I remember. Coach would never let you on the field if you didn't even know where to line up. You can't win the play if you don't know where to line up.
Yeah, well, 6'4", 200 pounds, dude, is a big wideout. We need that. We need those 6'3", 200 pounds. We need these guys for the red zone, I think, is what we're trying to get bigger. And we still want some speed on the outside, which is what makes me think we're going to move Tucker into the slot, right? And we're going to keep the bigger guys on the outside. We need these bigger guys for the end zone, for the red zone.
Yeah. And I think we're going to have plays in this red zone that's going to really shock us this year because we've really been anemic in the red zone. And
lethargic.
I try to explain that. Lethargic, yeah. Lethargic, anemic. just outright demonic. So I think what people don't understand is red zone is not about calling the best play at the time. The field is condensed, so it kind of favors the defense. That's why the bend but don't break defense uh, works as much as it does. But what stops that is how you set up plays to get to the red zone. And when you set up plays, even the pass run differential to throw off the defense, because then they're thinking you're going to pass it and you run it. They have to react to that. And you're in the red zone, especially if you're within the 5, you can run that in. So just if the O line is Himothy. So I like what Kubiak does. He sets up his plays. We're gonna have big body receivers. Jack Bech. A lot of people like to say he's gonna be a tight end or whatever. I think he's gonna be more like a possession receiver, a third down receiver, a receiver that goes across the middle.
I agree.
And I think that'd be good for him. Dante Thornton Jr., big body receiver. Maybe we might not rely on him so much because questions of how he catches the ball, body catcher versus the hands. If he can go up there at 6'4", 6'3", and catch the ball high, then that's an advantage. Like Randy Moss, that's why they give him the player comp body wise is Randy Moss, because just throw it up, dog. Ain't that what he said? Just throw it up, dog. But then we gonna have Malik. I was calling him Beasley, but Benson. So I think that we're gonna have players that's gonna be able to make some things happen. We're gonna be able to score in the red zone.
Yeah, we need these big body guys. Yeah, we need these big body guys for the red zone, dude. We've always that's the one thing that we've never really had, right? I mean, we never really had a big body wide receiver inside the red zone, which is kind of weird to me. I mean, kind of with Crabtree and right, but I didn't really look at him as a big body receiver. He might have been tall, but he wasn't a big body. He was lanky. Like Jefferson to me is what I'm talking about, a big body receiver. He's wide too, he's not just a skinny guy. He's got some weight to him. He's got some density to him. He ain't gonna get knocked around that easy. Push out the ball.
He's gonna hold on to the ball. Yeah, at least hold on to the ball.
And I think Bech he's a tall wide receiver too, right? We took him in the second round last year. He's a hands guy, so we'll have him in there in the red zone. He's a taller guy. Tucker's a shorter kind of guy, That's what I was saying. Maybe move him to the slot. Right. I think that's what they'll do with him.
And I think it'll be advantageous if we move him to the slot, because he showed this year that he can run more than just the fly route.
Right.
And with this Kubiak new system, a lot of people don't realize that Kubiak often relies on yards after catch, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
About the yards after the catch and speed rather than those 50-50 balls, DK Metcalf, Chase, Jamar Chase. The guy, who you just say? The dude you just said, the receiver.
Bech or Carter.
No. The receiver from the receiver that you were just talking about, the number one receiver. He played for Minnesota, right? No, he played for Minnesota. See, I need to hit the tree. Hey, smoke him if you got him. What y'all got on deck, man? Matter of fact, I need to put the cash in. I forgot all about that. Jefferson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jefferson.
Our big body guy.
Yeah. So system over star power. With Klint Kubiak's offense scheme prioritizing speed and versatility, does the traditional X receiver even matter anymore?
Nope.
Does it even really matter anymore? Right? Because a lot of times people say, "Oh, we got the worst wide receiver room in football." All right, let's look at some of the great wide receiver rooms in football, though.
Well, look at what Tom Brady had, and look what he was winning with on a consistent basis. Julian Edelman, he's decent. but he ain't a traditional number one guy. He's a nice little slot guy. That was the problem with me with Hunter Renfro. He just didn't want to put on any weight, bro. Like he was too small. And when he got cracked, that was it. He was awesome, dude. I miss Thornton Renfro. But the problem is he was a too small of a body guy. And when he got crushed, he got concussed, and he just wasn't right after that for years. And that's part of the that's part of the hazard of being a small body receiver and not wanting to, at least Elliman and other dude got into the weight room because they knew they were going to get smashed. So you got to be able to put in that work and build your body up. Otherwise, you're going to end up with like Renfro, which is sad because he was sick, but we can't keep living in the past. We got to move on. He had a lot of great moves. He got open in the red zone. He was quick. But at the end of the day, he wasn't built to last in this game.
Right, and he's not.
He is in the red zone if we're just going to pull him in and use him in the red zone or whatever. But you can't be sending him out like we were. He got crushed, dude. Well, you got him out there returning punts and shit too. I mean, that's just dumb shit.
All right, chat, ready to hit that like button for your boy and Pizzelle Washington. Go on and hit that like button. Go on and rate the chat. Chat ready's going to rate the like button for your boys. So, so when I think of receiving tandems like Jamar Chase, Higgins, and Burrow, that's not panning out. It's only getting you so far because, like he was saying, because the wide receivers and the quarterback eating up the money, so you can't build around them, right?
Yep. That's exactly the problem. You got 4 guys that are making all the money, and then you got no defense. You got no corners. You got no safeties. You got no linebackers. You can throw for 5,000 yards and 45 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. It's not going to matter because, as soon as they can stop you once and you can't stop them, it's over. And, that's what the Patriots used to do to Peyton Manning. They knew that all they had to do was stop him one time and the game was over. So, and that's pretty much what they've been doing with Joe Burrow. They've just figured, we just need a one stop. Get us one stop. And if they get that one stop and they're not able to stop them, then you lose the game. It's simple mathematics. I don't know what they're going to do over there for him. They're going to have to figure out something. They're going to have to get him an offensive line. They're going to have to start drafting better. I don't know. Or they're going to have to lose 1 or 2 of these receivers. Maybe keep Chase, but somebody else, the other 2 are going to have to go, and they're going to have to draft somebody else.
Yeah.
And because that's how you win in this game now. You got to go in the drafting. Hitting on the draft is more important than bringing in free agents, bro. Free agents cost you more money. And if you're spending all the money on free agents, then you ain't got no money for anybody else.
I think of another quarterback trio. What was it? Tyreek Hill, Waddle, and Tua.
Yeah.
Right. Now you see that end up imploding. Everybody gone. All 3 of them.
Yep.
So for me, I think it's overrated that you have to have a wide receiver 1. I think I won't say it don't matter, but it don't matter as much because quarterbacks don't throw the ball down the field like they used to. They don't. I'm pretty sure that the yards per completion has definitely went down because now they throw 5-yard routes and 3-yard routes and hella screens and all that. So
Yeah, they picked up the West
I
Coast.
just think it's overrated.
Yeah, they picked up the West Coast offense, which is basically, well, that's what the Niners run, and then you have two polar opposites. So I'm going to draw the Niners with the West Coast offense, and then like the Raiders with the power offense, right? We like to throw the ball deep. The Niners weren't really a deep ball throwing club. They like to slice and dice you over the middle with the quick slants, the ins, the outs, little short extension of running plays is what Bill Walsh would call it. The little short pass is just an extension of a short running play, right? So if you got first and or second and 7 after a 3-yard pass or a 5-yard pass, he's still looking at 2nd and 5, 2nd and 7, which he's all right with because you won on first down. You want to win on first down, right? Either way, whether you run the ball or you're doing a short pass, right? And that was just his philosophy, and it works because that's why everybody's still doing it today.
Yeah. Raider Ben was good with it.
Whatever.
Raider Twan was good with it. Hey, you already got the link. It's the same link, so if you want to jump on, it's all good. If you need the link, let me know. D Menace was good with you, the real one. I'm gonna call you Real Raider. You a real Raider. AE was good with you, brother. So I couldn't agree with you more, man. So I think that we kind of starting to jump off the cliff. I mean, back off the ledge about the whole wide receiver one thing, and then see what we have because we don't know what we got in Bech.
Well, look at Kansas City. They run the same offense as the Niners do. And the only time they ever would go deep is when Tyreek Hill was there. Other than that, they don't run that system anymore because there's no one there that fast.
Another great example. The Chiefs don't have a premier number one. Matter of fact, when they do have a number one, that's all they got.
Yep.
Like they tried to bring in, what was it, Scantley? Then they brought in your boy Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
I mean, like, so, which brings me to Kansas City. They rely on their tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's their wide receiver one.
And a running back, yep.
And a running back now we have both. Brock Bowers is more like our wide receiver one. Now, a lot of people like to argue our tight ends wide receiver. Yes, they're wide receiver. They go with the wide receiver group. It used to be that it was both because they used to have to be with the O-line and block and all that other stuff. They spend probably 1/3 of the time there, 2/3 of the time with the wide receiver. So that's essentially what our wide receiver one's going to look like. And I believe that if you try, go ahead.
Well, we also we can go back to the early 90s, right? With the Cowboys and the Niners had the same kind of setup. They had a quarterback, they had a wide receiver, and they had a tight end, and they had a running back. They call it the big three or the big four, right? Jay Novacek, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, and then Michael Irvin, right? The Niners had Jerry Montana or Steve Young, right? They had Roger Craig or whoever they had, Ricky Waters, whatever, and they had Brent Jones. The teams use the same formula, dude. It's the same thing. They have the big four. As long as you got the big four, right? You have a guy that's reliable that can go out and catch the ball on third down when you need the first down, right? The big tight end, the block, go out on routes, like you were saying, right? And then just pounding the ball because that's what they would do. They just hand the ball to Emmitt, and then in certain situations. So that's, now the Niners threw more than the Cowboys did in the early 90s, but that was just because of who the Niners had, right? They had Jerry Rice. Why wouldn't you throw it? You had John Taylor, not saying that Michael Irvin wasn't as good as Jerry Rice was. It's just that they're two different coaches, two different programs. That's why I said you could put Michael Irvin over there where Jerry was and where Jerry was with Michael Irvin, and they would have two different careers like they do. You know what I mean? Same thing with you could have put Michael Carter over there or Chris Carter over there and put Jerry over on the Vikings, right? It'd be two different careers because they're two different, there's just two different systems that they're running. Like they're a run first, they were always a run first. Whereas Bill Walsh was more of a throw first kind of coach. That's just the only way how I can explain it.
That makes sense for sure. And so being that we have a tight end that they have to address, it's similar to Travis Kelce. You got to pay attention to him, and if you don't, he's gonna just carve you up. Now, I think at this point in the career, Bowers can do more damage than Kelce because Kelce just knows how to run to the open spot, catch the ball, do his thing. We can scheme Brock Bowers all over the field. And so if you double teaming Brock Bowers and the other receivers is going off, and they don't have to be like 100-yard games or anything like that, just everybody else catching, the others doing their job, then it's going to back off the pressure from Brock Bowers or everybody going to eat. Yep. That's why even having Dante Thornton out there, it creates spacing on the field for us to be able to do things with Brock Bowers.
Because you got to keep the safety over the top, or you're going to get the top blown off. I mean, that's the good thing about having speed is you can blow the top off the defense. Now, either you're going to keep one safety back or two safety back. If you're going to bring up two, then we're going to run the ball. That's what you do. You run the ball until they bring that safety down. And once they bring the safety down and there's one over the top, that means there's going to be one-on-one somewhere. And all you have to do is win your matchup. Catch the ball, bro. Like, I can never – it doesn't get any more difficult than that. Win your matchup. Catch the ball. Do your job. Don't do more than your job. Just do your job. No one's asking you to go out there and be a superstar or anything. Just go out there and do your job and catch the ball when your number's called. That's all. A lot of these guys want to come in here and do too much. But you don't got to do too much. You don't have to, you don't have to carry all the weight on your team or the team on your shoulders. We don't want you to do that. We don't expect you to do that. That's why we have a scheme. That's why we have the offensive coordinator that we got.
Right.
That's his job is to scheme you open. Your job is to catch the damn ball and run with it and don't fumble it.
Let's see, we got the big 3.5. Who's the big 3.5? You got the big 3.5. I think I know who you going to say, but I want to see who you say. Raider Unleashed was good with it.
What's going down? Thanks for coming by, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming by. Hey, let me put this in the chat for us. Let me throw the Cash App up there because if you guys want to help us continue the silver and black content and think about supporting your boys. Buy us a coffee. Buy us a coffee.
No, man. Buy us a joint.
Buy us a joint.
Coffee. Buy us a joint.
$5 Right. It's all good.
Buy us a G.
$5.
Yeah, buy us a G.
Yeah, no, for real. Help us keep that Raider content, that silver and black content rolling by supporting with the Cash App. Every little bit helps. It helps us do these breakdowns every week. We've been trying to go on 3-4 times a week. We've been putting up clips now that's starting to take off. So I thank y'all for that. And then I'm not monetized. I ain't monetized yet. I have to start from the ground up this offseason. So my goal is to try to get to 5,000 by time we get to the season. I got to get there. That's all I got to say about that. I got to get there. So help us out with that digital panhandle. But now, Bowers, though. Back to Bowers. I like what we got with Bowers, right? But then we have Genty. Genty, he catches the ball out the backfield. He has 55 catches last year. That gives us options.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker, a lot of people say, or I've seen some people say, we can JSN him, Jackson Smith and Jigma.
Yep.
Like, who was he? He ended up being the number one receiver just by default because he was schemed so. That can happen with Tucker. Tucker had 57 catches last year, and that's with Chip Kelly. So imagine what would happen if we have a competent play caller, and we're not satisfied with what we got. Then who do we bring in? I heard the names tossed around. Jennings. He's holding out because last year he was worth $6 million, and now according to the paperwork, he worth $22 million now.
Whoa.
We only got like 22, 20. Now we got like 22, 23 on the books. We could go get him, but is that something we want to add to our locker room?
No.
How many people are thinking Jennings is an answer or a fit to the locker room?
Not
Put
me.
a 1 in the chat if you think it's a yes. Put a no in it. Put a 2 in the chat if you think it's a no. I'm gonna say no. Because if he's already sitting out because of money, we already just had this conversation about wide receivers and their money. He'll end up doing this like IU, which is another name people are talking around.
Yeah, what he should be doing is he should be getting ready to show up to camp and letting his guys, like, I want professional people over here. I know you don't want to play for free or whatever, but you still got to show up and do your camp. You know what I'm saying? You got to show up and still got to show up and be a man and do your thing. And then hopefully they get everything negotiated and worked out before the season. If they don't, then that's when you take a seat. But you don't want to not show up and miss all of your camp and miss all of this football conditioning that you're supposed and be on the same page with the rest of the team. Like if you do that, then you're behind, and then you're no good to us. You're no good. You're not going to be any good until the middle of the season because you're already miles behind. You got left behind, and that's not good. That's not good. That's not good for the team. So I respect a lot of these guys that come out and they do their mini camp stuff and they go to their OTAs and they do all this stuff. Let your manager manage you. You come in and still do your work. And maybe if Khalil Mack came in and did his work, maybe not. Maybe he still would have been able to stay. Maybe they would have been able to work some numbers for him. But he didn't want to come in and work.
He was pissed that they gave Carr his money, but like you said, you got to come to camp because that's where you build the camaraderie at. That's where you build it at. And if you already off the field because of your money and everybody know it, they already like looking at you side eye. Yeah. Maybe not all of them because they understand the business, but some of them that understand the business, it's not all about money because you can't take all the money. They're going to look at you a certain kind of way. You don't want a team full of people, like you said, that's looking out for right. and the money. So you're not going to win championships or have longevity with those kind of people in the locker room. Excuse me. And that played out with IU. That hurt IU. IU hurt the Niners last year. He took the money and ran.
Yep.
Another person, Deebo Samuels.
Yep.
That's another name getting tossed around. Would you guys like Deebo Samuels in this locker room?
No. Cancer too. Dude, everybody who's coming from the Niners, dude, they're all that me kind of attitude. Like that's not who we need. That's not what we need over here at this point in time. Not that Jenny, and I've never really liked Ayuk that much. And I'll stand on business right now. Like the Niners aren't even a throw first team right now; they're a run first team. So why would you pay Ayuk or Homeboy all that money? You don't even, you know what I mean? You draft another one. For me, you're a run first team. Christian McCaffrey, everything goes through Christian McCaffrey over there, bro.
It's funny because Ayuk was like he'll catch 2 passes. Then they'll both be like for like 15 yards and that'll be it. Or a 20-yarder or something like that, and that's it. You don't have to scheme for him like that. I don't know why they gave. Well, I gave him the money to solidify the position, but I don't know what's going on over there. I
He
guess he
wasn't worth
want
the
more
money to me.
passes. He want
He,
more passes.
he just wasn't worth the money to your boy. You could have went and
Yeah,
got something else. You could have went and got somebody else and would have showed up for your team. Like you said, he got paid, he blew his knee out, and then he didn't even show up last year. He's running around town, he's driving past the stadium or whatever. Like, what are you doing, dude? Oh, like you can't make this shit up, dude. He's
yeah,
a
that was
disgruntled
crazy.
employee.
Hey, that was hella crazy. Just driving by the job.
Yeah. Let's see what's going on today. Motherfucker, where's your uniform at? You know what's going on. Come
No, and then
on.
you have the nerve to go online and then post it.
Yeah, you just can't make this shit up, dude. Like, I don't want a disgruntled employee, bro.
Yeah, that's heck funny, right? So Jitty with his catches out the backfield, that's going to help us, give us options in the pass game. Um,
Yep.
Tucker had 57 catches, so I mean, like, there was some balance there, I guess. I think that was more necessity than anything. But let's look at the fan overreaction, or is it a valid concern? We addressed the Devontae Adams boy having that number one wide receiver. Whether fans are being too hard on a young, talented group that is still finding their identity. Is that what's happening here? Because they didn't get much chance last year because they were young and Pete Carroll didn't believe in playing young players. Really, I agree with that. And then people's like, we got to see what they got, which the end of the season is for, and this training camp. So if we can carry that along, we will see what we have. But we needed a number one wide receiver. We went and got Devontae Adams. Even that fell apart. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this whole thing about a number one wide receiver is almost mythical. Let's
Yeah,
get to that point.
I agree. And this stage and era in football, I don't I don't think it's necessary. But that's just my opinion. Because no one's
Yeah, I
really,
think
no one's really like Shanahan's scheming people open too. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he does too. Like they're all from the same tree. Every single one of these guys, McVay, Shanahan, Kubiak, they're all from the same tree. They're all building the same kind of team. They all have the same kind of idea of what they want to do, right? They're all going to run the outside zone. They're all doing the same shit, dude. Don't be fooled. Now Kubiak is doing a couple other things that are different than they are because he's been to different teams. But he went to the Niners, then he went somewhere else, right? And then he went somewhere else, and then he ended up in Seattle. So he's gone to other places and learned more stuff.
shout out. Let's say. I'm trying to read that name because I can see Alec with the M. We're gonna call you Alex. He says, I hear that. Maybe a true number one is not necessary. I don't think so. Hey, seen Armand St. Brown in person? I thought he was bigger than he is. He ain't that big. He not. Like all these productive receivers, yeah, you want a 6'3" guy, 6'2" guy that run 4.3 for sure. But that don't guarantee nothing, but you have to pay them a whole bunch of money. So I'm not seeing how that's paying off on offenses. What I am seeing pay off is scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Scheme. And we have the perfect coach for that.
Yep, we definitely do. Like all you got to do is look right across the bay. He's been scheming them up for I don't know how many years now over there.
The only thing about them is that they just get injured. If they don't get injured, they wouldn't probably be in the position that they in because they just get injured a lot. I don't know what it is about him, but he get his players injured.
What up, Raider Twan? You got it right, Twan. You got it right.
What do you say?
Yep.
Yeah. And we'll see what that is this year.
All right,
We'll
T-Menace,
see.
you have a good night, bro.
Thank you, brother. Back to the salt mines. Yeah, so we'll see what we have. And we'll see what we need.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll address that next year.
I agree.
And then, like you said, we're addressing it lightweight this year because we are getting players with familiarity with each other. That's a common trend. I was saying this earlier with the whole linebacking core, and then with our safeties, and now Mendoza with the running back, Hemby, and the wide receivers.
Yep.
You know,
that's the undrafted wideout that we got. He's from Indiana too. So yeah, he's supposed to be a deep threat. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's supposed to be a beast. So we'll see.
And then don't forget Benson.
Yep.
6th round pick. They're speaking really highly of him. So this wide receiver room, I would not go as far as saying that it's the worst. I don't know where we are yet, but I know we have a bunch of receivers that are competing for positions. And Bech, being a second rounder, he's the one that I'm paying attention to really, really closely. Because as a second rounder, you have to be you should damn near be a starter in year 2, and you didn't really even get that much. But I think he will get chances.
He didn't get his opportunities as much as he should have last year because, like you said, Carroll don't want to play the young players, and he's kind of messing up a little bit. And Thornton was doing good in preseason, right? He was coming along, and then when he showed up into the games, a couple of the games after game 1 or 2, he ended up just falling off, bro. You can't, I understand you gotta keep these guys in line too. You can't just keep putting them out there if they're not ready.
Yeah. Kubiak is still trying to see what we got. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Chargers injury bug always hit them too. Factual. That's why I don't know why people be thinking that the Chargers is so dope. Like they start off good or whatever.
I don't think they're dope. I just think that we're gonna have a hard time stopping the run, bro, because we haven't been able to stop it. And they love to run the ball. That's what they do like to do, especially late in the third quarter into the fourth quarter. They like to pound it out. And if we can't stop them like last year, it's going to be long games. Everyone's going to see that, and they're going to want to run it down our neck too.
I'm willing to bet an eighth to a zip that we're stopping the run this year. All I hear about a lot of these players is run stopper. That had me concerned about our pass coverage. But then we addressed that in the draft, so I was okay with it. We know the Chargers start off hot, then they fall off. They do run the ball though, and that's how they drafted too. And but they can't get over the hump because when the game get tight, then Justin Herbert just ain't him.
Oh, I agree.
And then we know that, and we know the Chiefs, they start off slow, and then they pick up and win 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row. And Denver, we know Denver is a defensive team, so they're going to grind out every game. So we already know what our work is cut out for us. What kind of team are we going to be is the question. And I think we're going to be the unpredictable who's who in our division. Because I did a poll. Let me go look at the poll. Most of us think that we're going to come into third place. Where do you guys think we're going to land this year? I know it's a little early. It's early. Someone did ask that question. I'm sorry. I wonder if you're still here. Let's see. There's a question here. Where do you guys think we're going to land this year?
I think we're going to win at least 6 games, if not more. But my low is probably 6. My high is going to be 8 or 9.
Yeah. Javi, are you still here? Let me know if you are still here. Now, I was naming the teams that I think we could beat. I named 5 of them without even naming anybody in our division. I think we can win 6. I think the floor is 5,
Yep.
and the ceiling is about 8. That's where I really think our sweet spot is right there, between 5 and 8. So my
I just
question
want
to you guys, what?
I just want to win. I just want to win a few games in a row too. I don't want to win 1 game and lose 2 games, and then win 2 games and lose 4 games. I want to start going on the, I want to start winning some games in a row. Keep them because
Yeah,
keeps the momentum up. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But that'll all come. That'll all come with experience.
Javi asks, who's the QB this year for the Raiders, but also which QB will be a surprise breakout? I think the surprise breakout going to be um the person who's going to start this year, Kirk
Cousins.
Cousins.
Yep.
Because everybody's already talking about Mendoza playing by week 8 and week 5 and week 9 and week whatever. I don't think Kirk Cousins is going to get hurt. I don't think he's going to play himself out of position. And I don't think that Mendoza is not going to be able to usurp him as QB1
We don't
because
want
it's
them
just
to.
so much and we don't want him to. I don't think that there's
Plan. They
a
got a
need
plan.
for it.
They got a plan,
Yeah.
and they're going to stick to it, no matter what we want, or no matter what we think. Everybody, even the guys on draft day, I was watching them. They're like, "There's no way that they're going to draft a number 1 and let him sit." Why wouldn't you? They're all talking about. They're on the panel. They're talking. Oh, he'll start by week 8 or week 5. I'm sticking by my guns. I don't think he's going to start at all because that's what they said. Why would they tell you that and then not do it? that's
That's what I
like your
was
mom and
thinking.
dad telling you don't steal the cookies, and then you go in there and steal the cookie. What's going to happen?
BTA built the ass.
Yeah. So when they're
Yeah, I
telling
mean,
you
like,
that when they're telling you that they're going to let him sit for a year, I'm going to take them for their word.
yeah, the only way he plays is if he has to play.
Yep. Like I can
Because
see
I
if
know,
we're getting blown out or we're blowing somebody out, we might put him in for some reps,
yeah,
but he's not starting.
yeah. Alex says that's why we have so many new players on defense. Change is coming, stopping the run.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you. I think so. I think that's why we got the linebackers that we have to stop the run. I think we changed to 3-4 so we can stop the run. So we make the offense decide who they're going to block, and whoever free got to make a business decision and blow it up. And speaking of business decision, thank y'all for hacking into business decision sports. Go on and hit the you feel me, the subscribe you feel me in the corner right underneath the screen and help us grow, because like I said, I'm trying to get to that 5K. We're almost at 2,000. We like 10 away from 2,000. I know I'm asking for a lot, but just like the Raiders, my expectation is high right now. I have a high expectation for them because a lot of people I've heard say, if we win 5, 6 games, that's going to be monumental. Me, I'm thinking that's where we should start at.
Mm-hmm.
If we win 7, 8 games, then I'm like, oh yeah, we're cooking now. We cooking with grease now.
Yeah, we're ahead of
frying
schedule.
right now.
Yeah, we're ahead of schedule.
We're ahead of schedule. And I like the fact that they're telling everybody we're making moves for the future, and it is calming down the Raider Nation. I do love that. Just don't be surprised if you see some results this year because of all the things that we're doing in totality. But don't overdo it, y'all. I'm praying y'all don't overdo it because I see it coming. Because like you say, once we string like 3 games in a row, man, when was the last time we won like 3 games in a row?
That's what I'm saying. You gotta get that buy us a coffee out of there, bro. I don't drink coffee. You gotta buy us a joint, buy us a gram, buy us something.
Mine's a gram. I think I go with the gram. Well, I'll put the coffee in quotes. All right, I'll put a gram. I like that. I like that better. Buy the gram. Even if Kirk gets hurt, they still won't play Mendoza. Now that I don't agree with. Who they gonna play?
Oh, we got this other guy we just brought in from BYU or whatever. We're gonna play him because he's probably going to be the backup. Yeah, AOC is probably going to be gone. Here, I'll tell you his name right here. He's an undrafted free agent.
Hey, chat. Who are the undrafted free agents you guys like?
Oh, I'm sorry. His name is Jacob Clark, and he's from Missouri State. 6'5", 220 pounds. He's a big boy, bro.
Hey, we'll have to take a look at it.
He's a big boy, 6'5", 220 pounds. That's almost Ben Roethlisberger size.
What's his stats?
3,244 yards, 28 TDs, 11 picks, 71.4 completion rate.
That's good.
Yeah, no, he's good. Like I said, he's 6'5", 220 pounds. He's going to be a beast, dude. Beast. I think that's going to be a backup.
That's the backup.
I think that's a backup.
So you guys really thinking he's not going to play at all this year?
Nope. Might play a little preseason, or like I said, in blowout games, or maybe we're getting blown out or something. I can maybe see that, but I don't think he's starting at all. No.
He said, yeah, he's a big guy. Yes, that guy is decent. Decent? He's decent? But Raider Twine said AOC is QB2. There's no way there's no way I can see that.
Yeah, I don't know if Kubiak can work with AOC.
You want to know why I say that? For the same reason you about to say it or thinking, because I was looking at, now granted they're practicing on air. The mobility between Kirk Cousins and AOC is light years.
Yeah.
I mean, like with the play action, I was watching it, just the play action. AOC is not a play action quarterback. Sorry. He's a 1, 2, 3, get rid of the ball guy. And he's not the type that's going to extend the play and find the guy down the field and throw the ball. He doesn't fit this. He doesn't fit. He just doesn't fit this offense. We need to try to go get a 4th round pick for him.
Something.
Missouri State Conference. Okay. Yeah, well, it's a far cry from the Big Ten.
Yeah. So is the SEC, but SEC hasn't been winning lately.
Ooh, Willie Wayne says he's going to be a sleeper and beat out everybody. Maybe I need to look this guy. What's his name? Let me take a look. What's his name, Pizzle?
1 second. Jacob Clark, Missouri State.
Right, hold on. Jacob Clark, huh? Let's take a look at Jacob Clark, because if y'all saying that, I need to pay attention.
He threw for 3,200 yards. That's more yards than we had last year, I think, on our own.
Because I don't really pay attention to these undrafted guys until it gets to the point where
we have to.
We have to, exactly.
28 TDs isn't bad. 28 TDs and 11 picks isn't bad. That's almost 3 to 1.
Let me see if I can find some You know, they like to be tripping sometimes. Let's take a look. All right, here I'm about to share the screen. Let's see. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look. Let's see what we're doing.
Let's see what we're working with.
And just turn the sound off so they can't hit us for no.
So that's what you was talking about right there, throwing the ball ahead of the receiver.
Yep.
Like so that way he don't have to come back. And watch this hit he takes right into your living room. He didn't let it affect him. And he threw a perfect pass and he's poised. I like that.
Yeah, he looks good, man. There ain't nothing wrong with that. I think Kubiak can work with this guy. I guess they play in Cowboy Stadium. I don't know if that was a bowl game or what, but
it's a bowl game. Yeah, they was up 31-7. They went crazy.
Yeah, well, it looks like they won that.
Right. So guys are saying that. So we'll do a film breakdown of a couple of the guys you guys are talking about. I definitely want to be in the loop. I'm usually not in the loop of training camp, but I'm really, really paying attention now. I'm really invested because I think a lot of times we don't know these players, and then we have these expectations of players that it's just not their team, and we don't even know what the philosophy of our team is.
Yeah.
This year is very clear what our philosophy is and what we're doing and what we're not doing. AJ Brown requested the Eagles trade him for a 5th round. We hopping on that? We talked about that earlier. I say absolutely not.
Yeah, we don't need AJ Brown.
We don't need no divas in our locker room right now. We don't need no guy reading a book when he needs to be reading defenses. And then when you made all that noise, then they threw you the ball, you dropped them.
Yeah, he had some big drops last year in that playoff game.
Yeah, and then got mad at the coach, and then they're gonna say, "Oh, that's just how we talk." I just said that to make you mad. Like, come on, bro. Y'all got problems. Y'all got big problems in Little Philadelphia over there.
Oh yeah.
So
Big
I
trouble
say
in
no
Little
to AJ
Philadelphia.
Brown. Huh?
Big trouble in Little Philadelphia.
Yeah, big trouble in Little Philadelphia. So AJ Brown's a no for me. Rated Twine says they may trade him, but that'll happen. What do you say? They might trade him, but until that happens, he is QB2. What, on a piece of paper? He's a QB2 on a piece of paper? I bet you he ain't going to, I bet you not about to outplay. He's not about to outplay. Okay, you guys are taking Fernando off the table altogether, which I don't think that's going to. I think if Kirk Cousins get hurt, then the Mendoza era begins. But if so, I think one of these quarterbacks can come in and beat AOC if they just mobile.
Yep.
AOC can't even stay on the field for like more than 7 quarters. Like, I promise you he's going to get hurt within 2 games. Like, he just always does. But I guess he's QB2 right now. He led the conference in passing efficiency. I like that. AJ Brown, Butterfingers. Butterfingers.
Don't lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Don't lay a finger on my Butterfinger. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and hit that like button, man. Let me see where we at on the likes. Any other players that y'all want to talk about in the undrafted? Take a look at them. Otherwise, we're going good.
Yeah, I got about 15 more minutes left or so.
Okay, let's do it. So what was I looking up? I was looking up.
The undrafted free agents.
That's what I was asking y'all about. But let me see.
Well, who you want to talk about? You want to talk about the running back? We got Roman
Chase
Hemby
Roberts
from Indiana, 6'0", 202. He had 1,120 rushing yards, 230 carries, and 7 touchdowns. He's supposed to be a really speedy running back. He's supposed to be really fast. At 6 foot, that's not very short. He's not short, I'll tell you that. We could talk about the linebackers or the defensive tackle we got or the defensive end that we got. I mean, we got a corner, a safety, 2 safeties, a couple of linebackers. So we got a lot of guys that came in.
Yeah, okay. You're gonna look at Hemby, and I want to look at Chase Roberts because you mentioned him earlier.
Okay, yeah, Chase Roberts, BYU, 6'4", 210. He's going to be a beast, dude. He's big.
Let's take a look.
802 yards, 54 catches. Career high in catches last year.
Take a look at Chase. Oh, I like that route. Nice hands catch.
Oh, yeah. That's like an old school Renfro route right there. Uh-oh. 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 He almost beat him to the corner. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Nice deep post right there. Nice. Nice. Went and got it. Nice. Oh, shit. He's throwing the Hail Mary. Got him.
That's that 50-50 ball.
Yep.
In the middle of the field, like that.
Yep. He's working everywhere. Not a triple covered. How you like that?
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, he looks good.
What's Hemby's first name?
That was from that was Chase Roberts, right?
Yeah, what's Hemby's first name? That's it, all right. Roman.
Roman, yeah. Roman. He's a running back. But yeah, go ahead and put him up. He's fast, dude. He's really fast. He's like a tempo setter. Like you bring him in when everybody's all worn out and he's running circles around him and shit. Look at this guy. He's fast as fuck, dude.
Oh, nice. Dude.
Yeah, he got speed, dude.
Oh, nice. Way to hit that crease.
Yep.
Oh. Oh. Right. Oh.
Nice.
It almost looked like that. It looked like that was a horse collar. Ooh.
Nice.
Get some. That's it.
Out of the backfield. Nice.
Ooh. I like that. That's all I need to see right there. I like that.
Yep. Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
I like that. The fact that he's not scared to get his nose in there, you know? Yeah,
Yeah,
that
he
stiff
looks
arm
good.
was nice.
He's fast too. I don't like him as much as I like the other dude that we got from Arkansas, but because that guy's going to be the hammer.
Let me see. Y'all talk about the guy on
Could
the
check out,
CFL.
well, you can go check out Corey Rucker. He's from Arkansas State.
Let me see. Y'all talk about the guy we got from the CFL who was their number 2 overall pick. Who is that guy? Can you find out who it is? What was the guy you said?
Corey Rucker is a wide receiver from Arkansas State. He's pretty, but he's got 3,000 plus career catches or reception yards and led the team in 2025.
Excuse me. Let's see what Corey Rucker talking about. Don't forget about the Rucker. Matter of fact, don't say nothing about the Rucker.
He's another nice big body wideout.
Nice double move to get behind the safety and the corner.
To the house.
I like the separation.
Yep.
Oh, he opened.
That's cash money. All day. Split them and caught it on a little skinny post.
These are guys on the perimeter.
Yeah.
Oh, he was trying to get there. Oh, nice. Oh, nice way to take that hit. Let's go. Give it to him again. Send him check us out.
Yeah, he's beasting over here.
Matter of fact, I want to see that again. And I like the fact he didn't get knocked off his feet right there. Let's go. Oh, let's go.
Yeah, I like this kid. He's going to be good.
Let's go. Nice hands
move.
catch. Oh, he's trying to get about his business. I like how he's attacking the safety. Look, the safety froze him, ran right by him. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Who else we got? We got a couple minutes left.
Yeah, we got a couple more dudes.
Chase is a playmaker and loves the game. I love that. I love players who love the game.
E.J. Williams Jr.
Oh, yeah, I need to see him. Oh, okay, the Canadian O lineman. Henny, what'd you say?
E.J. Williams Jr.
Oh, yeah, that's another name I heard a lot of.
Yeah, he's from Indiana.
He might even make the roster.
Yeah, he's looking. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But I'm just saying that name is being tossed around a lot.
We got a lot of potential at wide receiver right now, so we'll see who's going to be around and who ain't. Some of these guys might actually beat some of these other guys out that we already got here.
Yeah. See that communication between him and Mendoza? That's what they're relying on.
Yeah.
And see, at least he know how to fall. AOC don't know how to fall. How he get that open?
Because they're playing Illinois. Homeboy bit on something up on the front. instead of watching this guy. Damn, Illinois put up 42
Marbles
on
right
him.
here. Right. Top of the screen. He open. Man, did you see the guy at the top of the screen? How open he was?
Yeah.
That he was open too, though.
Yeah. He only got 1 foot down, though. He should have got both feet down.
That's a good pass.
Yeah.
See, that play got a lot of options in it. That's when you know you have a good play call in the red zone. When you have
Yep.
more than one man open. Man, come on, bro.
Let's see. Offensive. Let's see here. Isaiah Jetta is an offensive tackle for BYU. He's 6'6", 315. And then we got.
Let's take one more look. Rolling pocket. So.
Then we got Justin Pickett, which is a guard. He's sick.
Who's that? Hold on, let me look and see. Who's that Canadian guy that he Canadian O-line? Henning? Nicholas Henning? Let's see.
Yeah, he's not on the undrafted free agent guys, but yeah, go check him out.
He's the guy, I guess, from
Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
He's one of those. He don't count against the roster. He's an international player.
Uh-oh. I saw that coming. Now that might not happen in NFL, but you see him looking for somebody to hit.
Yep.
He hit the safety. Have a seat, son. But look, he's still laying down. Dang. Yeah.
Yeah, we pulled him right there. So he's mobile. Did he just throw a red flag?
Junior? No, I don't know, but I saw a dude get thrown to the ground.
Yeah, he threw a red flag right there.
He did throw a red flag.
We got yellow, they got red. Fucking Canadians. And look at where they got the goal post at, fool. They got it right on the goal line, like in the 1950s and shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day.
You know how many people get knocked out from that pole? There's a reason why it's not up in the front anymore.
Right.
Fools used to smash into that thing, bro.
I like he's aggressive. Dang. Okay. He's aggressive now. Let's see if he can get his footwork together. Who else? Who's the other? You said a couple more.
We got a guard.
Yeah.
Which is Isaiah Jatta, Jatta. He's an offensive tackle. 6'6", 315.
What's his first name? Isaiah.
Isaiah Jatta. He's from BYU.
6'8", 320. Leave me alone.
Nice.
You should have laid on him right there, though.
Yeah. Oh, that I don't like that play. He kind of grabbed at him.
Yeah. He like
That's kind of
head
like
a
a
lot. I
hold
need
right
to do
there.
a pancake. There
Oh,
you
there
go.
he is, right there. He just pancaked him right there. Pulled him. All right, Black, I got to take off.
Yeah. Obviously, I do too. The camera started to wig out. Hey, y'all. Oh, Isaiah World. Okay, I was about to say, okay, cool. We'll look into these guys. We'll look into these guys a little bit later.
For sure. Right on, chat. Right on, Black.
Thank y'all, everybody. Thanks for hacking in. Go on and hit that subscribe button and that like button on the way out, y'all. Y'all have a good day, man. I think we going on later, so make sure y'all hack in with Raider Ben and them. Hey, don't forget, I'm a Raider, though.
I'm a Raider, though. Later, yo.